Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News package for today. Let's take a look at the headlines. A judge has ruled in favor of attorney at law Cara Shillingford and the people of Salisbury who were arrested in 2015. Birds Caribbean has questioned export of endangered Dominican parrots to Germany. And on the international scene, Pittsburgh police officers ordered to bring riot gear in case Trump fires Mueller. Stay tuned for these and other stories when CBN4's Primetime News returns. We'll be right back.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
TB estene et ben tout se, moun ki en bonne santé oli wen ka respire se vermine la. Moun ki pa ni bon tempérament kon sa ki ni maladie HIV, alcool, ka fume, ti mamay e gwan moun, bien sensible pour ces maladies sa la. Moun ki ka tousse ni pou prendre précaution le yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvert bouche ou le ka estene et tousse. Visiter docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joine guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout sime maladie TB et HIV, protéger corps et les autres.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
L'année signe tout partout. Attention si vous êtes homme et bien femme. Visitez place santé pour examiner corps. Ça c'est un nid pour yo ouais si l'année pièce moun au lion qui ni maladie TB et bien maladie sexuelle. En compagnie moun qui ni maladie HIV pe ni TB aussi. Savent qui l'année guérison pour TB. Ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Parlez by docteur. Prends responsabilité ou. Aidez du bout de sime maladie TB et HIV. Pour agir tout le monde pour examiner corps yo.
And welcome back. All 21 constituencies here in Dominica are expected to benefit from the government's housing program as stated by Dominica's Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. Prime Minister Skerrit also noted that of 1,000 homes earmarked for construction under the particular program, an additional 60 homes will be constructed in the Soufriere constituency due to the severe devastation from Hurricane Maria.
Why are you likely to get 70 of the 1,000 homes, given that there are 21 constituencies in Dominica? It is because you were among the hardest hit communities. All 21 communities shall benefit from and be the recipient of houses built under this program. But those hardest hit shall obviously receive a larger number than the communities where devastation was less severe comparatively.
The Prime Minister further indicated that it should be of no surprise that the Kalinago territory will receive the highest number of homes under the program. The Kalinago territory received the highest number of damages to homes during the hurricane. Just recently, the government of Dominica and the Ministry of Housing and Lands commissioned the first 2 of the 10 homes in Point Michel during a handing over ceremony. Attorney at law Cara Shillingford revealed the decision made by Justice Stevenson to rule in favor of her clients, the persons who were arrested and charged after the 2015 protest in Salisbury. According to Shillingford, the protest was organized by residents who felt that their roads were in a deplorable condition. 56 of them were charged with rioting.
About 57, maybe about 56 persons were charged with the offense of rioting under our 1897 Riot Act. After I was retained to represent these persons, I looked at the provisions of the Act and I realized that the Act offends against our Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights section of our Constitution. So we filed a constitutional motion, and the state, in defending the case, because the state has to defend, decided to retain senior counsel Anthony Astafans to represent it. So Mr. Astafans, representing the state, filed an application to strike out our constitutional motion. We argued, obviously we opposed the application. The judge heard arguments, and today she delivered a decision in our favor.
Shillingford explains that according to the law, where 12 or more persons are gathered together and the persons stay there for a particular period of time, then the Act says that it becomes a riot. Hence, it undermines the values of freedom of expression in a democratic society.
Essentially, when somebody makes a declaration according to this Act, where 12 or more persons are gathered, then automatically it becomes a riot. This is, to my mind, offensive. It offends against the rights to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. The wording of the legislation itself is very vague, and that's one of the points that we are arguing in our constitutional motion. It is that the legislation lacks certainty, and as such, it offends against the doctrine of the rule of law, which is a constitutional doctrine. The rule of law essentially says that persons must know what the law is so that they can abide by the law. If a law is unconstitutionally vague, then ordinary civilians would not be able to understand the law and will not be able to abide by it.
Shillingford believes that there are other provisions within the Act which are quite barbaric. Provisions that speak about immunity for killing, maiming, and injuring someone during a riot. Shillingford says that this calls for a review of the public order legislation, saying that one of the fundamental aspects of a democratic society is that persons must be freely able to express their dissent.
The fact that the House of Assembly Elections Act specific, essentially when somebody makes a declaration according to this Act, where 12 or more persons are gathered, then automatically it becomes a riot. This is, to my mind, offensive. It offends against the rights to freedom of expression and freedom.
She admits that it is not at all times that persons will agree with the state. She explained that in a democratic society, one should be awarded the right to express their disagreements. Meantime, another judgment was made at the courts. The matter concerns an election case. Essentially, in 2016, the Prime Minister and other ministers of government filed a judicial review against the Attorney General, the Chief Magistrate, and the Director of Public Prosecution. According to Cara Shillingford, the Prime Minister and his cabinet are essentially saying that Magistrate Bernard Paquette should not have served them with summons, asking them to attend court in order to answer charges of bribery and cheating during the elections.
What happened is that we have a House of Assembly Elections Act, and that act speaks about the fact that treating is a criminal offense and bribery in an election is a criminal offense. Three citizens of Dominica who observed the elections thought that there was a lot of treating, meaning the provision of entertainment with the intention of influencing people to vote for you, free entertainment and free food and all of these things. So they were of the opinion that there was treating in the elections. I mean, there were a number of international artists who were brought to Dominica and so on. So they made a complaint to the magistrate, and the magistrate who would have looked at the act and who would have formed the opinion that yes, the complaint should be made. If a complaint is made to the magistrate court, then he has to ask the defendants, that is the Prime Minister and the other ministers, to attend court so that they can answer the complaints. I mean, that is done every day. If a ordinary citizen like you and me, anybody, commits an offense, then a complaint will be filed by the police, and the magistrate would either issue an arrest warrant, which he can do if it's an arrestable offense, or he would issue a summons asking you to attend court.
Shillingford laments that the Prime Minister and his cabinet chose not to attend court. Rather, they chose to file a judicial review application challenging the decision of the magistrate.
The Prime Minister and the other minister decided to, rather than to attend court like we ordinary people do, they decided to file a judicial review application. And the application that they filed, challenging the decision of the magistrates, it was defended by the state by the Attorney General Chambers, because it's the responsibility of the Attorney General Chambers to defend. My clients, we intervened, we had an observer status, and we made certain submissions as to what the judge should decide.
The attorney revealed that the application challenging the decision of the magistrate was defended by the state by the Attorney General Chambers, since it is the responsibility of the Attorney General Chambers to defend. She explained that her clients intervened holding an observer status. The judge delivered the decision, and she essentially squashed the decision of the magistrate to issue summons to the Prime Minister and his cabinet.
The fact that the House of Assembly Elections Act specifically says that the offense should be tried summarily. And I mean, if you Google the word, if you look it up in a dictionary, in a legal dictionary, summary trial means trial in the magistrate court. There's no doubt about that.
Cara Shillingford says that she has not received the copy of the written judgment taken by the magistrate, adding that she remains surprised by the judge's decision. And stay tuned, we'll be back with more right after this break.
L'année signe tout partout. Attention si vous êtes homme et bien femme. Visitez place santé pour examiner corps. Ça c'est un nid pour yo ouais si l'année pièce moun au lion qui ni maladie TB et bien maladie sexuelle. En compagnie moun qui ni maladie HIV pe ni TB aussi. Savent qui l'année guérison pour TB. Ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Parlez by docteur. Prends responsabilité ou. Aidez du bout de sime maladie TB et HIV. Ou agir tout le monde pour examiner corps yo.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
estene ben tout se, moun ki en bonne santé oli wen ka respire se vermine lan. Moun ki pani bon tempérament kon sa ki ni maladie HIV, alcool, ka fime, ti mamay e grand moun bien sensible pour ces maladies ça là. Moun ki ka tousse ni pou prendre précaution le yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvre bouche ou le ka estene tousse. Visiter docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joindre guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout de maladie TB et HIV, protéger corps et les autres.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope.
Welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News Package. The bird conservation group Birds Caribbean released a statement questioning the export of rare parrots from Dominica to Germany. Birds Caribbean also joined over a dozen international groups asking the United Nations to investigate the export and help return the parrots to their native island. In March of this year, 12 wild parrots of 2 rare species were exported to Germany. They were taken from an aviary where they were recovering from Hurricane Maria hit Dominica in September 2017. Both species, the Cicero and the Jaco, are found only in Dominica. The Cicero is Dominica's national bird and it appears on Dominica's flag. The exports shocked the bird experts on Dominica and around the world. The group that took the parrots, Association for the Conservation of Threatened Parrots, claimed it was an emergency measure to start a captive breeding program in the wake of Hurricane Maria. Bird experts questioned this reason and the legal basis for the export. On their website, Birds Caribbean describes the many problems with the export. Marissa Stedman has more.
Captive breeding programs can help save some rare species, but it seems unlikely in this case. Post-Maria, both kinds of parrots are recovering in the wild on Dominica. The aviary birds taken were healthy and expected to be ready for release back into the wild soon. The number of parrots taken, including just 2 Cicero parrots, is too few to start a breeding program. This raises questions about the scientific merit of the actions and if there are plans for capturing and exporting more birds in the future. The parrots had the care they needed in local facilities on Dominica. It is better to help parrots in their home country with help from outside as needed. Local authorities and the people of Dominica are the ultimate stewards of these species and should be empowered as such. Birds Caribbean and others have questions about the legality of the export. Usually, many experts take part in the decision to start a captive breeding program, and there are strict rules for the trade of endangered species. This export was a surprise to all. It is also unclear if proper permits were obtained to export the parrots. Marissa Stedman, CBN4 News.
And the Inter-Caribbean Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, is hosting a training workshop to introduce vermicomposting technology as an alternative approach to compost production and income-generating activity here in Dominica. We go now again to Marissa Stedman.
The workshop, which was held earlier today, forms part of ICA's flagship project on productivity and sustainability of family farming for food security and the rural economy, with a specific focus on sustainable farming systems and food security of family agriculture. Vermicomposting technology is an emerging eco-friendly process which utilizes earthworms to convert organic waste into a valuable composting material. With the increased demand for organic products, vermicomposting agriculture or vermicomposting technology has great potential as a viable source of income. This technology requires relatively low-cost inputs and provides the capacity for the development of vermi-agri-production technology. The training will be facilitated by Mr. Michael Martin, a soil science researcher and vermicomposting expert. The intended beneficiaries of this workshop include farmers and extension technicians. Prior to this one-day workshop, field visits will be conducted to trap and identify local worm species which will be used in the vermicomposting evaluation exercise. Marisa Stedman, CBN4 News.
And also in the news, the Prime Minister at the handing over ceremony in Point Michel revealed that permission has been given to the construction company Precast Limited in Barbados to lease land and set up a production facility here in Dominica. The Prime Minister indicated that this arrangement was due to the government's satisfaction in what was delivered.
This plant, which has already been manufactured and will be shipped to Dominica in weeks ahead, will not only supply the remaining 980 houses that constitute the existing contract with the government, but will also be equipped to design, manufacture, supply and install other homes, as well as commercial, industrial and other building types for the private sector.
The PM added that he has been assured that the technology used in the construction of these homes is state-of-the-art, adding that it is considered the most technologically advanced building systems in the world today.
So when we said a few months ago that we wanted Dominica to lead the way in terms of climate resilience, this is what we're aiming for as a country. The homes are designed to withstand high seismic activity and sustain hurricane-force winds exceeding a Category 5 storm. They are energy efficient as the heat is dissipated and not absorbed by the concrete. This means that during a hot day, inside the homes is cool.
The Prime Minister advised residents in attendance to use this as the standard to which he wants each to aspire in the rebuilding of their homes. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more after the break.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
L'année signe tout partout. Attention si vous êtes homme et bien femme. Visitez place santé pour examiner corps. Ça c'est un nid pour yo ouais si l'année pièce moun au lion qui ni maladie TB et bien maladie sexuelle. En compagnie moun qui ni maladie HIV pe ni TB aussi. Savent qui l'année guérison pour TB. Ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Parlez by docteur ou. Prends responsabilité ou. Aidez du bout si maladie TB et HIV. Ou agir tout moun pour examiner corps yo.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
Welcome back. With news from around the region, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has recognized the partners of range developments for their support and participation in the economic development and sustainability of the country. Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris presented an award of appreciation to range developments for its continued contributions to the country's citizenship by investment program during a cocktail reception in Dubai last week. The award was presented to Range Development's partners Mohamed Azaria and Kamal Shihada. Range Development said it is very honored to have received an award from the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for its commitment to the CBI program and development in the Federation. The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, also known as the 5 Cs, is also looking for ways to boost the region's access to Green Climate Fund, GCF. The center is on the hunt for proposals from the private and public sector organizations around the region that want to work with the center to develop their ideas into successful projects that are in line with their country's national priorities to build resilience to climate change. The 5 Cs, the agency with responsibility for coordinating climate action in the Caribbean, has doubled its efforts in wake of the 2017 hurricane season, which saw the devastation of several islands and which exacerbates the need for climate-proofing critical infrastructure and building resilience. The GCF has approved a couple $100 million in preparation funding for several countries across the region, but the 5 Cs boss is particularly proud of the achievements of this tiny project development team. Nationally, Pittsburgh police ordered its detectives to bring riot gear to work on Thursday in anticipation of protest should President Donald Trump fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Police Commander Victor Joseph reportedly sent an email on Wednesday instructing major crimes detectives to bring full uniforms and riot gear to work until further notice. In the internal memo obtained by local media, Joseph said there is a belief Mueller may be fired and large-scale protests are expected in the central business district within 24 hours if that happens. The protest would be semi-spontaneous and more than likely happen on short notice, the memo said. Mueller is investigating Russia's alleged meddling in the 2016 presidential election and possible collusion with the Trump campaign. The president has described the allegations as a hoax created by the Democrats after their loss in the elections. The National Transportation Safety Board is finishing up its initial examination into the deadly Southwest Airlines engine failure Thursday, but many questions remain unanswered. Investigators can't explain with certainty why the left engine of the Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 malfunctioned when the plane was reaching over 32,000 feet. It's too soon to determine what happened, said National Transportation Safety Board Chairman Robert Sumwalt. The NTSB will be looking into how an interior crack on a fan blade could have led to the engine failure. Sumwalt said it was certainly not detectable from looking at it from the outside. The crack was found in a fan blade of the CFM International 56-7B turbofan engine that separated during the incident. And stay tuned, the sports comes up shortly.
ki ni TB estene e ben tousse, moun ki an bonne santé oli wen ka respire se vermine lan. Moun ki pa ni bon tempérament kon sa ki ni maladi HIV, alcool, ka fime, ti mamay e gwa moun bien sensible pour ces maladies ça là. Moun ki ka tousse ni pou prend précaution le yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvert bouche ou le ka estene tousse. Visiter docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joine guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout simer maladie TB et HIV, protéger corps et les autres.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live.
And Dominica went down to host country St. Kitts and Nevis in their first match of the CFU Women's Challenge at the Warner Park Sports Complex on Wednesday. The Dominica women's team, led by veteran Rosilia Regis and coached by Rajesh Joseph Lachu, went down by a goal to nil. However, Coach Lachu says he's very pleased with the performance of the players.
Night, the girls give 110%. It really had no more, it was very little I could ask for them in terms of their effort. We knew going into the tournament we were not 90 minutes fit. We only started training 3 days ago, so we know the reality. And the St. Kitts team that we met was a very good team. We chased the ball most of the time, but we were fit enough. The runs on the hills, it kept us in there. The back four, however, in my opinion, we have the best back four and goalkeeper in the whole tournament, because they were solid. One error maybe, we thought it was a little offside, but that's how it is. And we conceded, but the Bertrand sisters, Christina Sobers, Kianja was outstanding at right back. Donisha was very good at the left back. We had the veteran skipper Rosie, who was absolutely hard working and very good. And the younger players, they played their part. Seraphine had a decent game until she had, she got too tired. But I'm very pleased with the effort.
And Burkhard Francis bagged 6 wickets on Wednesday to lead the Castlebrooke Secondary School to a 6-wicket victory over the Portsmouth Secondary School in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-15 Cricket Championship. Castlebrooke Secondary won the toss and elected to field first. They restricted the Portsmouth Secondary School boys to 73 all out. Devon George got 19 and Blaine Augustine got 15 for the Portsmouth Secondary School, with Burkhard Francis picking up 6 for 27. The Castlebrooke Secondary School in reply made 76 all out, a simple lead of 3 runs. Ethan Nicholas was the top performer with 21 runs. Bowling for the Portsmouth School, Jaden Joseph bagged 4 for 19, Jamali Benjamin 3 for 17, and Lesford Lewis with 2 for 15. Portsmouth Secondary batted the second time and declared with the score on 68 for the loss of 4 wickets, a target of 66 for the Castlebrooke team. Castlebrooke Secondary School chased down the target with ease. They reached 68 for 4 with Benny Sanford 21 and Yazi Granu unbeaten on 20. Lesford Lewis picked up 2 wickets for 11 runs in the process. Castlebrooke Secondary winning by 6 wickets. Still in cricket, Shahid Afridi, Shoaib Malik and Thisara Pereira were the first set of players to confirm their participation for the ICC World 11 in a T20 international against the Windies, to be played at Lord's on the 31st of May. The match is being organized to raise funds for stadiums in the Caribbean that were badly damaged following hurricanes Irma and Maria last year. Afridi and Malik were part of the Pakistan squad that won the ICC World T20 2009 at Lord's, while Pereira was a member of the Sri Lanka side that lifted the silverware in Dhaka in 2014. The 3 World T20 winners will lend a lot of weight to the ICC World 11 side, which will see more names being added to what is expected to be a star-studded lineup led by England's white ball captain Owen Morgan, who has already been confirmed to lead the side. New Australia captain Tim Paine says the team will reduce their levels of sledging under his leadership. Tim Paine replaced Steve Smith as Australia's keeper after Smith was banned for his part in the ball tampering scandal. Australia have also been criticised for an aggressive on-field approach, and Cricket Australia launched a review into the team's culture. I think what's said and how it's said will be very different going forward, the wicketkeeper noted. And that takes us to the end of today's Primetime News and Sports package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 team, Ali and Christopher saying thank you for watching.